I am so excited to introduce you today to aloe vera. That is these three beautiful plants that you see right here. These are probably the most commonly known succulents. Almost everyone has heard of aloe vera because it's really well known for its medicinal properties, and a lot of times you'll see it included in lotions and creams and that sort of thing. So how do you take care of aloe vera? Aloe vera likes to be grown in full sun. It will take at least 5 to 6 hours of full sun every day and does fairly well in the heat as well. It's not a plant that's going to grow especially well indoors. If you do want to bring it inside, make sure that you have a grow light on it at least 12 hours a day to make sure it's getting adequate light. Otherwise, you'll start to see it look kind of limp. It'll start to lighten and lose its color. It just won't be as healthy. It'll also start to kind of stretch out and get elongated. So the other thing about aloe vera is it actually doesn't need very much water. So with this plant, you can follow the soak and dry method that I recommend. And if you're not sure what that is, be sure to check out our watering video. But basically just soak the soil, let it dry out completely before you water it again, and your aloe vera will be happy. You can even add, 4 or 5 days between when the soil is dry and when you water again. It is a really good drought tolerant plant. And you can see that here because it has really thick fleshy leaves. And especially as the plant gets larger, which it can grow to be about 24 inches both in height and in width. So it's a decent sized plant once it's outside and in the ground, or you can also grow it in containers as well. It is a zone 9 plant, which means that it can handle temperatures down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, keep in mind with all zone ratings and minimum temperature requirements, that doesn't mean it can handle 20-degree weather for an extended period of time. This is like the extreme low. So I would say that if you're gonna have, a full week where it's gonna get into the 20s or even where it's just getting below freezing, you'll probably want to cover your aloe vera with frost cloth, or if you can, bring it inside for that time. But it is one that, will tolerate a few nights of frost and it will be fine. And then if it does start to get some frostbite, you'll notice the tips will start to kind of turn black and look a little crispy, or a lot of times it'll start out looking white, but they'll look dried up and damaged. And usually you can just cut those off, and as long as the base of the plant is okay, then it should keep growing. Now, you'll also want to make sure that when it is in the ground that it is either mounded or in a well-draining soil so that it doesn't sit in wet soil for very long when it's watered. And be sure to keep it dry during those times when it is extremely cold, as that will help it be more frost tolerant. Now, you'll also want to probably grow more aloe vera, right? So the way that this propagates is through offsets. So it will put off little babies all around the mother plant. And once those have grown to be, a normal-ish plant size, maybe about 2 or 3 inches in size, you can go ahead and pull those off, keep some of the roots if you can, and then plant them in a new area. Something else to know about aloe vera is that it grows actively in the really temperate climates. So it's technically considered a winter grower, and generally you'll see blooms in really, really early spring and sometimes in late fall. But it will actively grow in the spring and fall. It'll slow down a little bit in the winter when it gets into those really cold seasons. The coldest month of the year, it's probably not going to grow very much. But other than that, it is going to take advantage of that cool weather, and that's when it will grow the most. It will slow down significantly in the summer as it will go dormant. So you want to be careful not to water too much in the summer, as that can cause it to rot because it'll get too much water because it's not actively growing, but just enough to keep it from drying up completely in the summer heat. Now, the other thing that you likely know about aloe vera is that it can be used medicinally. So I wanted to show you how to harvest the sap or that lovely gooiness inside that people will use in lotions or just as a gel to put on sunburns. Keep in mind that everyone is going to react to this a little bit differently, but aloe vera is definitely not considered toxic to humans. It can be to some animals, so be careful that way, and always, be careful, test it out on a little area first before you move forward. So what you would do is you would actually just break off one of these leaves or cut them off. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I just have some pruning shears here, and I just cut it straight off. And you can see in there it is really nice, wet, kind of gooey. And there are different ways that you can do this. A lot of people will just squeeze out the sap, but you can also cut off the skin around it and harvest it that way. So I'm just going to show you that you can actually peel this open and the skin just comes right off. Let's see. And you can see there is a lot of gooiness in there. And this can be placed directly on your skin. Some people will eat it. Again, always just be careful. You can see how gooey and messy it is. But it is really great for sunburns and treating various things. I'm not going to go into all of those here because mostly I want to help you learn how to grow this, but know that you can cut it off if you get a sunburn or have something else that you'd like to try treating. So aloe vera is an amazing succulent. It's one of the most popular, one that people know, most people know about, and it's pretty easy to grow. So just make sure that you're soaking the soil, letting it dry out completely before you water again, and then keep it protected from extended periods of frost, and you'll be good to go. I'd love to know if you're currently growing aloe vera in your garden or what your experience has been with it. Go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me all about it. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with any succulent loving friends, and I will see you next time.